Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over this 2021 AMG GLA45, but I would like to give a special thanks to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay for providing me with this GLA45. If you're in the market for a GLA45, you can come to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay and ask for Lewis, and he'll get you into a new, used, or pre-owned vehicle. But let's get into the review here and talk about this GLA45. Looking at this large paramatical grille, I do like the vertical slats here. There's this three-pointed Mercedes emblem that houses the dynamic radar cruise control. The GLA45 here is missing a front-facing camera, but there is front parking sensors here, and it's also painted in this black exterior paint. I do like that it has the chrome accents here. Looking at these headlights here, they're going to be a full LED with an automatic low and high beam, with an LED turn signal, with an LED daytime running light. I want you guys to comment down below in the comment section, what do you think about the GLA45? But let's take a look underneath the hood here and see what powers this GLA45. This has Mercedes-Benz 2-liter inline four. It makes 382 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, and as the GLA45 sits, it weighs 3,800 pounds. Fuel economy is rated at 20 in the city, 27 on the highway, and 23 combined. Of course, premium gas is required. And Mercedes says this is the most powerful 4-cylinder SUV in production. So looking at the side profile here of the GLA45, looking at these tires and this rim setup here, these are a 235/50 tire. They're wrapped in this 19-inch rim design. I like the matte black finish here with the 10-spoke rim setup here. It looks really nice with the black exterior color. There's these AMG Pacific brakes. The rotors are cross-drilled and ventilated. But looking here at the side fender, there's this turbo with the 4MATIC Plus badge there. So basically this signifies that this has the all-wheel drive system for Mercedes-Benz. Looking at this mirror cap, this does have an LED side marker, and up top of the GLA45, this does have a panoramic sunroof to let light into this cabin, also with these roof rails here. But let's take a look at the rear of the GLA45. Looking at the rear here of the GLA45, there's some badging back here, which is the AMG badge, your 3-pointed Mercedes emblem. That's also the GLA45 badge to let everyone know that you have the 45 model here of the GLA. There's this rear wiper here to keep the rear glass clean. There's also this integrated rear spoiler here up top. Looking down here, there's some chrome trim. And also Mercedes does throw in quad tip exhaust here on the 45 model of the GLA. I like the rear diffuser, it's really aggressive. It's gonna be LED lights for the tag. And also once you put the car into reverse, the backup camera pops out. Open up the cargo capacity back here. This does have a power liftgate. Once it opens, it reveals 15.4 cubic feet of space. And once you fold down the second row seats there, Mercedes says you get 55.5 cubic feet of space. And where this box is at, basically, Mercedes does throw in underfloor storage. So sitting inside the interior here of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLA45, of course, you guys know Mercedes does a luxurious interior here. But looking here at the door panel materials really quick, but shutting the door did sound nice and solid. You guys know I'm not a big fan of voiceovers, but to start up the GLA45, of course, foot on the brake and press the start button right there. The materials here are going to be a soft touch materials with the stitching here on the door panel. Looking here, Mercedes does offer 3-level heated seats, but you have to basically spec in the cool seat option just in case you want to have cool seats. There's this wood-like trim, also with the ambient lighting. Of course, you guys know Mercedes does have one of the best interior lighting, also with 3-person memory seats, and they also put their seating controls on the door panel, and it is nice and padded there. There's this aluminum door handle. It is automatic up, automatic down for all 4 windows, and you can power fold the mirrors in here on the GLA45. Looking over here, there's some knobs and controls for the electronic parking brake. Also for the headlight controls, this steering wheel does have a manual tilt telescoping function. Over there is your turning signal stock and wind wiper stocks. This is how you put the vehicle into reverse, of course. Foot on the brake and you switch up for reverse. And you guys know Mercedes has one of the best backup cameras in the industry. This only offers 2 different angles. I know if you guys go for the 360 camera, it offers a front angle, also a top-down 360 view. We probably have to spec that in, basically another a la carte option that Mercedes charges you. And to go into drive, of course, you switch down to go into drive. This does have the 8-speed dual clutch transmission, and to put into park, you press that little knob there. This is a flat bottom design. I like the 3-spoke wheel design. There's some controls here on the steering wheel. There's these touch sensitive buttons to mess with this infotainment system. Either you can mess with that, or you can use the trackpad or touch the the touch sensitive buttons, but these are two 10.5-inch displays. This does have the MBUX system, so basically you can say things like, hey Mercedes. It is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it only takes around 8 to 7 inches of the screen. It doesn't take up the full 10.5-inch display, which maybe Mercedes should do a software update, because like I mentioned, it only takes up 8 to 7 inches of the screen. I do like this 10.5-inch display here for the gauge cluster. You can customize that to show you different things, or when you're playing the radio, or to change the gauges. This does have adaptive cruise control. I like the airbag cover here with the 3-pointed Mercedes emblem. Nice leather wrap steering wheel with the soft touch materials on the sides. And the paddle shifters does have this nice metal feel to them. Nice high quality paddle shifters. Looking here at the 10.5-inch display, down here's going to be 3 air vents there. It also has ambient lighting inside the air vents. Down here's going to be some toggle switches for the climate control. Like I mentioned, this thing is missing cool seats, which you have to basically spec that in. Down here is going to be 2 cup holders. It's the key fob for the GLA45. There's a lock, unlock, also with a panic button in your trunk release. And there's the AMG badge with the 3-pointed Mercedes emblem. The key feels nice and sturdy in my hands. Over there, this is for the USB Type-C. This does take Android Auto and Apple CarPlay once you have the USB connected. There's a 12-volt. Down there's a trackpad. You can either touch the trackpad like I mentioned, or you can use the touch-sensitive buttons on the steering wheel, or you can touch the screen. This is for the drive mode selector, which shows you a Sport, Sport Plus, Slippery, also Comfort. So you can have this thing to show you different drive modes here on the GLA45. That's quick access. It does show you stuff like emergency braking, also with blind spot monitoring, so you can basically have a quick access to different stuff. This is rotary knob here for the van controls, the telephone, navigation. This area here is to rest your palms. There's 2 cup holders. Like I mentioned, you can use that trackpad or the infotainment system or the touch sensitive buttons on the steering wheel. Over here is for the traction control. This is double hinged. It does offer a USB-C inside the center console there, and it does have a shallow amount of storage. I like that it's double hinged. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable. I do like the 2-tone color here on the seats. And above, there's this panoramic sunroof to let some light into this cabin, but there's this bar that cuts in between the panoramic sunroof. Up here is going to be LED lights for the cabin. The dashboard does have this nice leather wrap material here. Looking at the glove compartment, it does have a decent sized glove box there. But shut in the back, it does have a nice solid sound. But overall, I'm really impressed here with the GLA45's interior. But let's hop into the back seat of the GLA45. So getting back here in the back seat here of the GLA45, the door sounds pretty solid. The materials here are going to be a nice touch. Of course, it's a Mercedes. It does offer nice high quality materials here in their vehicles. Looking here is going to be dual map pockets. Also, Mercedes does throw in your own set of air vents back here. There's a small storage compartment. Also, there, once you put on this flap here, there's a 115-volt charging port here with 2 USB-Cs. The floor back here is not flat, but you can definitely fit 3 people across. I have plenty of headroom here, even with this panoramic sunroof cut out, but there's this bar that does cut into the panoramic sunroof here. Mercedes says you get 38.4 inches of legroom back here in the GLA45. Pulling this armrest down here, there's going to be 2 over-engineered cup holders, which I do like that gimmick, but I'm really surprised here that Mercedes didn't offer any storage. So start off in the 2021 Mercedes-Benz AMG GLA45. This has Mercedes-Benz 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 382 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that exhaust, but this thing is backfiring and it sounds pretty good. I know you guys normally don't see me use the expressway, but we're going to test this GLA out and see how good it is on the turnpike here. Starting off with the road noise here, the GLA45 rides on these 19-inch wheels. It does have the AMG 10-spoke rim design with the matte black finish, which I think looks really nice. There's also this panoramic sunroof here. But let's test the Mercedes driver's assistance here. Okay, so I have the cruise control set here, and it doesn't have lane keeping assist because I have to basically take control of the wheel. But with this thing having cruise control, it will basically keep the distance between you and the car. which basically, if you wanted to have it closer, you can have the GLA45 here to be closer or farther from the car that's in front of you. And unfortunately, the GLA45 will not change lanes for you, but this car does have great passing power. And this is with it only in comfort mode, but I'm gonna put it in the Sport Plus setting here. Mercedes gives you this toggle switch. Oof. That sounds pretty good. And the exhaust is gonna do a little crackles and pop. All this is from a 2-liter inline-4, and Mercedes says this is the most powerful 4-cylinder in production. And honestly, can I believe them? Yes, because this GLA45 here makes 382 horsepower. And every time you say, hey Mercedes, it will display here. You can basically turn it off in the settings if you would like. Like I mentioned, the GLA45 here has 19-inch rims. I do hear a little wind noise coming into the cabin, but it's smoothly paved here. But I do hear a little bit of road noise from the 19-inch rims. If you guys hear what that beeping sound is, it's basically the blind spot monitoring. But just driving the GLA45 here, it is really good, and it sounds so good. But this car gets up to speed really quick in the exhaust. It has quad tip exhaust from a 4-cylinder. That's pretty impressive. And just driving, like, you will legit keep up with traffic. This thing doesn't feel slow. This does come with emergency braking with blind spot monitoring, but it does not come with lane keeping assist. I tried to test it out there to see would it keep me in the lanes, but it didn't keep me in the lanes. But maybe you can probably spec that in, because Mercedes is known for basically having all the cart options. The GLA45 here is missing cool seats. Let's mess with the paddles here really quick. Oof, that exhaust. This is so funny. If you're looking for a hot hatch, basically for under $70,000, and it has a Mercedes emblem on it, the GLA45 is not a bad option. Let's talk about fuel economy really quick. It's rated at 20 in the city, 27 on the highway, and 23 combined. And of course, premium gas is recommended. And honestly, this hot hatch or GLA45, it handles really good. The suspension feels well planted. And just in case you guys don't want to basically wake up your kids with that beautiful quad tip exhaust with all the crackles and pops, you can just put this thing in its actual comfort mode and just cruise. You guys can hear it kind of toned down. The steering got lighter. When it's in the Sport Plus mode, the steering does get a little really tight, but let's see what it does in comfort. Even in comfort mode, it still will put the power down just fine. These are riding on 235/50 tires, so it does have some grip to them. Like I mentioned, they're riding on this 19-inch rim design. I do like the 10-spoke AMG wheels that Mercedes offers, and this does have AMG brakes. The rotors are cross-drilled and ventilated, so this thing does have really good stopping power. Do I feel like you can take this thing on the track? I feel like you definitely can get some lap times. Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds from this GLA45, which is impressive for a small SUV that weighs around 3,800 pounds. It does get really good fuel economy. The ride quality here is really good. The seats are comfortable. You also have, like I mentioned, forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, but basically you are missing lane keeping assist. But like I mentioned, Mercedes will probably charge you that with another package or basically an a la carte option. But honestly, I have no complaints here from the GLA45, other than I do hear a little wind noise, but it's not a deal breaker for me. So after spending time with the GLA45, starting price here is at $54,500. With the options and accessories, the GLA45 stickers for $62,355. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews, and I'll catch you all in the next video. I figured out how to do the launch control. Basically, I had to let the coolant temperature build up and so forth because this car is very complicated. It's like going through surgery. But I know the video is kind of over, so this is like after, but whatever. So turn the hazards off here. Foot on the brake and accelerate it really hard. Jesus Christ. Like I said from the driving part, Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. And do I believe them? Yes, I do, because this car has a crazy launch control. But yes, so guys, be sure to check out Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay.